I was only 17 when my parents arranged my marriage. In our household, girls were raised to honor every word from their elders without question. From our earliest memories, we learned that true daughters submit gracefully, putting family first above all else. So, when my mother sat me down one evening and said softly, "Emily, the time has come for you to start your own family," I nodded with a forced smile, even as a quiet storm brewed inside me. "If this is what you believe is best," I replied, my voice barely above a whisper, "then I'll agree." The ceremony was a blur of traditions, flowers, vows, and endless photographs where I posed perfectly, hiding the growing emptiness in my chest. Weeks blurred into months, and those into a monotonous routine. But deep down, a restlessness gnawed at me. I'd steal moments alone, gazing out at the horizon, wondering, is this truly my path? Am I destined to fade into someone else's expectations, never chasing my own dreams? Nearly 3 years dragged on in this haze of quiet resignation. Then, on a fateful rainy evening, tragedy struck without warning. My husband was behind the wheel, navigating the slick, winding roads after a long day. I sat in the passenger seat, lost in thought, watching raindrops race down the window like tears. Exhaustion claimed him suddenly. He dozed off, and the car veered wildly. Tires screeched against the wet pavement as we plummeted off the edge into a ditch. The impact was deafening. Metal crumpling like paper, shards of glass exploding everywhere, and my world spinning in chaos. Pain exploded through my body as if I'd been struck by lightning. In the panic, my husband managed to escape the wreckage unharmed, fleeing to safety. I'm relieved he survived, but I was pinned inside, the twisted frame holding me captive. Kind strangers from a nearby village rushed to the scene, their voices a frantic chorus as they worked to free me. In their haste, though, they pulled too roughly, and something in my spine gave way with a sickening crack. When consciousness returned, I was surrounded by sterile white walls in the hospital. My left leg was shattered, my ankle twisted beyond recognition, my hip dislocated, and several vertebrae fractured. But the spinal damage was the cruelest blow of all. I endured 3 grueling months in that bed, hooked to machines that hummed like distant thunder. Days melted into one another, filled with pokes, prods, and the metallic tang of medicine. The nights were worse. Endless hours of solitude where doubt whispered relentlessly, "Why did this happen? What purpose is left for me now?" One crisp autumn morning, a specialist entered with a chart in hand. "Emily," he said with compassion in his eyes, "I know you had a passion for sketching landscapes, but the nerve damage in your arms, it means you might never hold a pencil steadily again." I swallowed hard, forcing back the lump in my throat. The following afternoon, another doctor delivered more devastating news. "Your lower body mobility is severely compromised," he explained matter-of-factly. "Walking independently, it's unlikely. You'll need assistance, perhaps a wheelchair for life." Tears welled up, but I managed to shake it. "I understand. I'll adapt." Yet on the 3rd visit, the final verdict shattered what remained of my spirit. "Due to the extent of your internal injuries," the physician said gravely, "conceiving or carrying a child will be impossible." That evening, alone in the dim light, I buried my face in the sheets, and sobbed until my chest ached, raw and hollow. If I couldn't create art, couldn't move freely, couldn't nurture life, what was the point of enduring? Suicide flickered in my mind like a dark shadow, but a faint inner light refused to extinguish. It urged me forward, whispering of untapped strength. Desperate for a lifeline, I reached out to my sister during a quiet visiting hour. My words trembled. I know my grip is weak now, but these blank walls are suffocating me. Could you bring some sketch pads, charcoals, maybe even watercolors? I need to try creating something, anything. She hesitated but returned the next day with a bundle of supplies. My fingers fumbled at first, the charcoal slipping like sand, but as I traced the first hesitant line, a simple curve, evoking a distant mountain, a warmth spread through me. I layered shades of blue and green, ignoring the tremors, building a scene from memory. Nurses paused in the hallway, drawn by the emerging image. "That's stunning," one murmured. "So vivid, like a window to another world." They admired the surface beauty, unaware of the anguish poured into every mark, the silent screams woven into the strokes. That act reignited my soul. Through art, I began reclaiming my narrative, wordless yet profound. Emboldened, I vowed to rebuild on my terms. My greatest hurdle was confronting the failing marriage. Whispers of judgment from society loomed large. What would relatives say? How would I face the shame? But I silenced the fear. It's an illusion, not my master. With resolve, I filed for divorce, stepping into uncertainty. Months later, news reached me that he'd remarried. A pang hit. But I composed a simple note, wishing you joy in your new chapter. Be well. And I meant every syllable, feeling lighter for it. Next came the ache of lost motherhood, a void that echoed deepest. Yet I reframed it. Parenthood isn't solely biological. It's forged in the heart. I researched adoption agencies, submitting applications despite doubts about my physical limitations. Rejections came, each a fresh wound, but persistence paid off after 4 long years. A call arrived on a sunny spring day. "Ms. Emily Thompson, we have a newborn girl ready for placement. Are you prepared?" My voice cracked with joy. "Absolutely. Bring her home to me." Holding her for the first time, she was a week old, with tiny fists and a tuft of soft hair, transformed me utterly. Her gummy smile, her trusting gaze, made me a mother in every sense. We navigated challenges together, adapting my wheelchair for cradling her, learning to change diapers one-handed, finding joy in story time under cozy blankets. Mobility remained a daily battle, not just the physical strain, but the stares from strangers, the pitying glances in public spaces. In a society obsessed with flawlessness, feeling other stung like salt in a wound, but I refused to shrink away. I expanded my art, experimenting with bold abstracts and vibrant portraits that captured raw emotion. Galleries noticed, exhibitions followed. I ventured into modeling for adaptive fashion lines, showcasing strength and diversity. Television invitations poured in. I hosted segments on resilience, advocating for women's rights, disability awareness, and child welfare. Public speaking terrified me at first, my voice quivering on stage. But with each address confidence bloomed. Audiences shifted from seeing the chair to hearing my message, applauding the woman behind it. Through it all, I've learned profound lessons. Life's blueprint rarely unfolds as imagined. Mine veered into uncharted territory with this accident, yet I've sculpted beauty from the ruins. We chase ideals of perfection, but true fulfillment lies in embracing the imperfect. As the saying goes, when life hands you lemons, make lemonade. But I'd add, savor it slowly, share it generously, and forgive the sour moments that shape us. Fear is inevitable. Let it visit, but don't let it stay. Tears cleanse the soul, paving the way for growth. Failure isn't a dead end. It's a teacher, forging unbreakable resolve. Celebrate the small victories, a sunrise, a laugh, a breath. Gratitude isn't just a feeling. It's a practice that unlocks genuine happiness. While you're here, immerse yourself in every instant. Dance in spirit, if not in body. Love fiercely and live without regret. If this story of Emily Thompson touched your heart, remember to like, share, and subscribe to English Easy Voice for more inspiring tales and life lessons. Your support helps spread hope. Hit that bell icon too so you never miss an update.